Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com, and this is your explosive photo news fix. This fix is brought to you by Squarespace. Now, I'm sure many of you have heard me promoting Squarespace over the past 7 years, and it's for good reason. 1, I personally use it for jaredpolin.com. 2, it's beyond easy to use because you don't need to know coding. You just drag and drop and you're good to go. And 3, it's super affordable. In fact, if you'd like to get a 14-day free trial with no credit card needed, head on over to squarespace.com/FroKnowsPhoto. And if you decide that it's for you, use the code FroKnowsPhoto at checkout to get 10% off your first order. First up, remember all those times people got upset at Canon because they announced a new camera, but seemed to leave out a few features, including 24p?
What are you talking about?
Well, it seems like Canon might have heard all of your bitching, and I say your because I've never once bitched about them leaving a feature out of a camera. And guess what? Canon left out 24p again. What are you thinking, Canon? Here's what Canon had to say. In response to feedback from our customers about some of our recently launched EOS and PowerShot models, Canon plans to introduce 24p mode for movie recording via a series of future firmware updates for select models. After the firmware updates are downloaded, it will be possible to shoot 24p in 4K and full HD for select models. The first models to benefit will be the EOS 90D and EOS RP at the end of October. The PowerShot G7X Mark III and G5X Mark II will follow at the end of 2019, and the EOS M6 Mark II during the first half of 2020. Canon is committed to providing a diverse and full lineup of products, listening to our customers and providing enhancements accordingly. Well, since Canon's listening, let's see if they hear this. Where's the pro mirrorless cameras? Can you hear me now? Bitch! Nonetheless, this is a great step to see that Canon's willing and able to seed out meaningful updates after a camera's release. What's something you'd like Canon to hear? Let me know in the comments below. In a last-minute addition to the photo news, Canon has revealed whether or not its forthcoming 70-200 2.8 RF will have internal zooming or not. And here's my reaction to seeing the video for the first time. No! No! What are you thinking? One job, Canon. One job. Wait, Steven, why am I worrying about this? I'm a Sony shooter now. All jokes aside, this is probably going to be one of the best 70-200 2.8s ever. Next up, I've got three new products to talk about from Nikon, starting with the least dumbest of the three. Hey, Steven, you think Nikon's gonna be upset with the title of this fix?
No.
Introducing Nikon's first mirrorless APS-C size sensor camera that's not the J1, which was a 1-inch sensor, by the way, the Z50. We were lucky enough to get our hands on a preview of the new body as well as 2 new DX lenses. Now, I do have a link down below for you to go check out that video, but don't do it until the fix is finished, damn it. The Z50, and I mean Z50, it's not Z50, has a 20.9 megapixel APS-C size sensor with 209 autofocusing points that cover 90% of the frame, has intelligent IAF that actually doesn't suck. The ISO goes from 100 to 51,200 natively. It shoots 4K up to 30 frames per second, utilizing the entire width of the sensor. And guess what it has, and that the rumor sites got wrong? What? A built-in EVF that's 2.36 million dots. On top of everything else, it borrows the Z mount from the Z Space 6 and Z Space 7, meaning Nikon has created one mount to rule them all. Not as good as the L-mount Alliance. The camera will be available in November for a body-only price of $859.95, $999.95 with the 16-50 kit lens, and $1349.95 with the 16-50 and the surprisingly good massive zoom range 50 to 250 millimeter lens. Now, I know I bust Nikon's balls often, and I'm about to bust them super hard in just a minute, but I really enjoyed using the Z50, and I'm happy with the results even from a pre-production camera. Before Before I get into the next two stories, I do have a quick PSA. If you work for Nikon, and I'm looking at you, Madeline, in Nikon PR, now would be a good time to turn off my video. Now, if you don't work for Nikon, please enjoy. Remember when the Z6 and Z7 came out and Nikon told us there wasn't going to be a grip for it, but then announced there was going to be a battery pack and said that that battery pack would have no buttons or dials on it? Yeah, well, it's now official. Introducing one of the dumbest products Nikon has ever put out, the MBN10 battery pack that enhances battery life and adds additional grip.
Whoop-de-doo.
Steven, didn't they already release the Pen 1.5 grip? Putting aside the fact that this is just a glorified battery pack for a second, this is the worst feeling grip in the history of camera grips. It feels like crap in my hands. Actually, I take that back. Crap would feel better in my hands because it would actually mold to my hands even better.
Hey, this is shit.
Even Sony's older battery grips feel better than this weirdly shaped monstrosity. Nikon! Wait, are they even watching? I told them not to watch. Anyway, you failed to make the grip have function. The least you could have done is make it have a great feel. But you didn't!
You blew it!
Any guesses as to what it costs? No? Okay. It will set you back $199.95. Batteries sold separately. If you're considering blowing $200 on this grip, hold up. Let me show you a better use for that money. And finally, in another What Was Nikon Thinking story, Nikon has officially announced the release and price for the fastest Nikkor lens ever made, the 58mm f/0.95s Noct lens. Now, we've known about this lens for a long time, and in fact, I was super excited to try it out when it was announced until I realized that it was a manual focus only lens. Steven, what year is this, 1977?
2019.
Yeah, no shit. Nikon says this lens is in a special class of its own, but I found out they lied because this kid was in the same class. Nikon continues the quote, offering low light ability and extreme sharpness that excels in the hands of a capable creator. See what they did there? They said in the hands of a capable creator, which I guess I'm not a capable creator then because I can't see with these shitty blurry eyes.
I'm handy capable.
See, this is one of those look what we can do type of lenses. The type where almost no one will buy it, but Nikon thinks it means a lot that they can actually do it. Well, it doesn't impress me, Nikon.
That don't impress me.
Why don't you work on some good glass that we actually care about? Though I don't know why I'm screaming at them, Steven. I told them not to watch. I'm sure it's as good as they say it is, but we weren't allowed to take any sample shots when it was here. I did get to hold it though, and damn is it heavy at 4.5 pounds. And guess what? It's super chody too.
That's what she said.
Now, chody's good in some cases, as I've been told.
That's what she said.
But maybe not in this one. There is some good news. If you want this lens, it will be available October 31st at the suggested retail price of oh, fuck it, I'll just tell you, $8,000. Yeah, you heard that right. $8,000 for a manual focusing Z lens. Damn! If you're someone considering blowing $8,000 on this lens, hold up. Let me show you a better use for that money. Yeah, that was real money. And there you have it. That's your photo news fix this time around. To check out the last fix, go ahead and click on the screen right here. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And that is where I'm gonna leave it. Jared, Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya.